Hi, I'm Wendy Lowy Sloan, and this is What's Up with Wendy's podcast. I just wanted to tell you a little bit about myself. I began my career in New York City as a television producer for talk show legends Phil Donahue and Geraldo Rivera. And for the last decade, I've used these experiences to create my unique style in interviewing hundreds of A-list celebrities, newsmakers, comedians, musicians, reality stars, fitness and nutrition experts, best-selling authors, and so much more. So I hope you enjoy this wide variety on my podcast. I hope you'll share and subscribe. And again, thanks for tuning in. My special guest today has a new animated series on Netflix called Bad Crimes. She also starred in Orange is the New Black and The Wrong Missy. You won't want to miss my sit down with Lauren Lapkus up next. My guest today, SAG Award-winning and Emmy-nominated actress and comedian, best known for her role as the correction officer Susan Fischer in Orange is the New Black, and also The Wrong Missy opposite David Spade, and Jurassic World, and so much more. Actress, comedian, impressionist, podcaster. Welcome to my show, Lauren Lapkus.
Hi, thanks for having me.
You look so beautiful this morning.
Thank you. I had some people come over and whip me into shape, so feels good.
So lucky to have that. Can you send them to my house, please? I love your room too. I love the room you're in.
Thank you. This is my podcast studio that I built during the pandemic to kind of give myself a place to work. So I have some fabric on the walls. It's actually soundproofing, so it looks kind of pretty, but it's got some hidden secrets under it.
Oh boy, I'm going to have to get that done in my house. It looks so pretty. I love all the flowers. It's so bright and cheery.
Thank you.
Okay, so I couldn't imagine anything better than this. You're partnering with Straight Talk Wireless, who is using your comedic approach to share advice on seasonal tax tips, which we all need desperately right this second,
Yes.
and making your refund work harder. How perfect was that? What a perfect fit.
Totally. I mean, honestly, in my life, my friends know that I'm someone who loves to save money, and I've always been obsessed with that. So it is a really perfect fit.
It's brilliant. It's actually brilliant because it will make people think, and just having you be the spokesperson for this is amazing. Is that what it was for you? What was it about this? And tax season is always stressful for everybody because it comes so fast. You know it's coming, but then it's here, right?
No, it always sneaks up and it's always the worst. But yeah, I think it is a perfect fit because I really value saving money. And one of the best things you can do is to change your phone plan, because Straight Talk gives you $45 a month unlimited, just like any other service gives you all the same stuff for $45 a month. I mean, that's just an amazing deal. So it's a great way to save money at this time of the year and through the whole year, so that when tax season arrives, you're not scrambling. It's great.
What is your advice on how to prepare for tax season? Including tips on how to protect your refund and spend smarter with a few simple saving tips.
Oh my God. Well, I mean, truly the phone bill, I think, is one of the places where you can save the best, because this Straight Talk makes it so easy just to cut your bill in half basically. But I always look for ways to save money. It's something that I really, really care about. And it's helped me throughout my life as an actor, where you're kind of struggling all the time to make ends meet as you're getting your career going and everything. So I always focused on finding ways to make it so that my money was going towards things I was really excited about and not towards all the boring stuff that you need in your life. So finding deals on, paper towels and anything like that in your life where you can just make it cheaper. But then the stuff that you're excited to have, to spend your money on, like entertainment or going to the movies, you have that little extra money for you. So all that's really important to me. And I think this is a really easy way to cut your bills in half and save some money.
It kind of makes it a little fun too, especially during the pandemic. We were all like, oh my God, where was the toilet paper? Where was the paper towels? Where was the Lysol wipes, right? So now that we spent so much money when we did find them, it's best. You're right. Especially now, find out where you can save, because now it's all over the place. Now everybody has it, right?
I literally bought huge rolls of toilet paper from an office store at the beginning of the pandemic because there was no toilet paper anywhere. So I had those gigantic rolls that were 2 feet wide that I was using for a full year. So yeah, it's great to not be in that situation anymore.
It's great to be out of it. I know I walked around without my mask for the first time yesterday. I'm like, people have been doing this. I feel weird now.
I know, it's such a weird adjustment.
Yes. So Orange is the New Black. How fun was that role?
Oh my God, it was amazing. I feel I was so lucky to be a part of that show. It was so cool. That was right when Netflix was just kind of getting started with streaming shows. They had really, it was one of their first shows. So there was kind of no precedent for, what the audience would be like for that. And it was just so exciting how much people took to it. It was really cool.
Did you actually go to prison and stay there for lengths at a time just to see how it was? Really?
Oh my God. No, we didn't actually do that, but we did shoot in some really interesting places in upstate New York. And one of the places we shot was an abandoned psych ward that was like this old building that was all kind of like creepy and weird. And they made it into a jail for the show. And it was so cool. I mean, there were so many cool, interesting sets like that. And definitely the vibe of being, in a prison environment, they made it look very real. So that was cool.
It was pretty amazing. Such a great show. The Wrong Missy.
Oh, so fun.
They said 59 million people saw it in the first 4 weeks. How do you feel about that? I just saw it, by the way, a few weeks ago.
Thank you. Oh, thanks for watching. It's so surreal. It was really crazy because that was also like right in the height of the pandemic, just everything getting going with the pandemic where we were not sure what was going to happen. And to be sitting at home and have that movie come out and know that people were watching it was really cool. It was a nice kind of silver lining to the situation. Just to feel like we were able to bring some levity to the moment and give people a laugh just for a couple of hours. So that was really neat.
It also made, yes, exactly. Getting people laugh. That's what we need. You had some crazy things that you did in that, huh?
Yeah, that movie's insane. I think there's a moment where I fall from a cliff and fly over multiple trees and land on the beach, and I live to tell the tale. So yeah, it's a really funny, crazy movie.
That's amazing. Okay, so what's new? What's coming up with you? What's coming up in your new upcoming roles in a new animated series? I hear.
Yes, my new show, Bad Crimes. I'm really excited about it. It's a Netflix animated show. It's a dark comedy procedural, so like Law and Order, SVU, that kind of thing, but just with a comedy twist to it. And it was created by Nicole Silverberg. She's such a funny comedian. She's a hilarious writer. And in conjunction with Greg Daniels and Mike Judge, who are executive producing, who are just legends. I mean, they created King of the Hill and Beavis and Butthead and The Office, Silicon Valley. Like their resumes are insane and so impressive. And I'm just so excited about it. It's so funny. And it's starring me and Nicole Byer, who you might know from Nailed It on Netflix. She's also on Grand Crew on NBC. She's so funny. We do a podcast together as well. So I'm really excited to get to work with her in this way.
That's awesome. How do you do it? How do you keep so busy juggling your career, your family, quality time, yourself?
It's really hard. I had a baby this year, so I'm adjusting to life with baby. Thank you. And she's 8 months now, so it's, we're getting to a bit of a groove, but it's also really challenging. I'm looking forward to eventually having some help.
It's not easy. The time goes by. I can tell you the time goes by. My kids are in college very fast, but it's definitely an adjustment. I have a puppy. He's 10 and a half months old, and it's like having a new baby. I'm like, what did I do? I love him, but what did I do?
Puppies, yeah. No, that's a moment where you're like, oh wait, they need a lot of attention.
And this one in particular, he's a golden, so he feels like he's human, and he's right now about to bounce some balls on the ground really loud, so you might hear that. But anyway, so a new baby, that's so wonderful. This changed your life. Does it change? Fun. Do you feel so different now?
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, just my priorities shifting, I think that's been a really interesting element of it, and just realizing what matters to me more than, certain things. Like, I think just being able to spend time with her is my most important thing right now. And I feel so grateful that, my job is in some ways, I think that's the hard part about being an actor, is that you don't know when your next job is coming. But at the same time, now that I'm a mom, it allows me time to spend, that time with her when I'm in between things. So I'm grateful for that. She's just the best.
Oh, well, congratulations again. And we look forward to your new series, Bad Crimes, and all the things that you do. And I can't imagine you not being busy because you've done so many wonderful things in the past. We look forward to seeing more. So if you just tuned in, Lauren Lapkus, so you want to plug one more thing about anything else?
Yeah. I mean, if you want to know more about Straight Talk, go to straighttalk.com. If you want to know more about me, you can go listen to my podcast, Newcomers, that I host with Nicole Byer. It's really fun. We watch shows that we've never seen before, and we're doing all of the Marvel Cinematic Universe right now. We've never seen any of the movies, and we're watching them all. So it's really fun.
Us podcasters have to support other podcasters. So we will definitely tune in. We will tune in, and congratulations again. Thank you so much for being here, Lauren.
Thank you.
He was part of one of television's greatest cast as Jay Peterman on Seinfeld. Actor, singer, author, comedian, and so much more. Joining me to talk about his one-man show and more, welcome John O'Hurley.
Well, good morning. What a wonderful introduction. I don't know if I can live up to all of that.
You will. You have the greatest voice of any person.
Well, you know, the irony of that is my voice was the last one to change in high school. For you to say that means a lot to me. Thank you.
Oh, wow. Really? Was that true? True story?
I had to suffer the embarrassment of one of those little squeaky voices up till I was about 15 years old.
Wow. That must have been painful in high school, right?
Well, you know, it was what it was.
It's high school.
But I was lucky enough to, you know, I was growing up at the time, and most of my life was in West Hartford, Connecticut. So I was, at the time, in the late 60s, I was wrapped around some of the great DJ voices in all of music, Dick Robinson and Sandy Beach and all of these great DJs back in the golden age of rock and roll and radio there. And I think a lot of my vocal intonations came from listening to them.
Wow. So you're going to be in your old neighborhood. You're going to be at the Ridgefield Playhouse this Sunday, January 26th, with your one-man show, A Man with Standards. I love the name, the title. How did you come up with that, and why?
Well, very simply, I do a show with the standards, the songs that we recognize from the Great American Songbook, Moon River, Henry Mancini, Sinatra, songs like Beyond the Sea. And I take a collection of all of that great music of the 50s and the 60s, the big band music, and I use it to underscore the stories of my life that were going on, not only at that time, but at other periods of life, when I was on Broadway and then Seinfeld and the years following. And I use that music to really to underscore and to in that respect, it makes it a lot of fun. It's very funny. It's great music, and there's only one tear.
Only one tear. So
I promise only one tear in the show.
Only one tear. So it's storytelling, songs, and humor, and it's always sold out when you do these shows all over.
I just finished I was just out 2 nights ago in La Mirada in California, doing the show there. Beautiful sellout there, and it was just what a wonderful crowd. Oh, they just loved it. It's just an unusual show. It hits you in a different way. Very few people come in and tell stories anymore, and I'm a storyteller. I always have been. That was the nature of Jay Peterman on Seinfeld. He was a storyteller, and I've had so many of crazy, quirky things happen in my life that it's been fun to bring them to the stage and wrap them around music that is so inspiring and memorable.
You're so right. People do not tell stories anymore. It's so true.
It isn't. Yeah, it isn't. Yeah. I mean, I go back, I talk about my days in West Hartford when my mother would go to the beauty parlor every Saturday morning and get her hair done. And it would come back, with something the consistency of a chafing dish. And then they would go out for dinner at night. My dad had his little skinny tie, and they would go out to a steakhouse in West Hartford, Delmonico's, and they would have this was every weekend. They'd go for dinner and dancing. They always had a little combo band there, and they'd go for their same steak every week, same martini, and they would dance their dance to the same music. And it was just that's what they did. It was dinner and dancing, and that sadly disappeared. So I like to bring back that little slice of nostalgia with not only the music but the stories, because I feel that it was a time of style and swing and elegance, and as I say, it's called A Man with Standards because I was lucky enough to grow up around men who had standards.
Oh my God, times are so different now. You were telling that story about your parents, and you're right. People used to. I look at pictures of my parents, and they were always so dressed up, and there was glamour, and it was so different then.
There was a time. There was a time of being a gentleman meant something, being a lady meant something, and there was an elegance, and there was music. The music and the manners were indistinguishable. As I kind of laughingly say, luck was a lady. We danced cheek to cheek, and love was a many splendored thing.
Oh, beautiful. If Just to know, I'm talking to John O'Hurley. He's going to be at the Ridgefield Playhouse, one of my favorite places, by the way, this Sunday, January 26th, his show, A Man with Standards. For tickets, 203-438-5795. It's a thoughtful autobiography with song and storytelling, which I love. I